Parents' culture, host culture, and moving during your developmental years. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect human beings. But Professor Life accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction: identity crisis. Thus, the third culture kid was born. Using their powers of mediation, perspective, and nuance, they've dedicated their lives to finding identity and belonging. You pesky third culture kids and your cute little TCK acronym, circumventing the globe. I'm not a big fan of you cultured cretins. It's a lot of cuz. I'm talking to the people that grew up in a culture different from the ones their parents grew up in. And this could be for a number of reasons, like parents' work, military posting, diplomatic posting, displacement due to conflict in your home country, and many other reasons. I don't like your type. And when I mean you pesky third culture kids, I mean me. I'm a pesky third culture kid. Let's go for a sit. Have you heard of drip acclimation? It's the process of putting fish into new water. This is done to help the fish adjust to the differences in water chemistry, temperature, and other conditions between their previous environment and their new one. If you don't acclimate your fish properly to their new environment, it can cause stress and potentially harm or even lead to the fish's death. Let me run that back. If you don't acclimate your fish properly to the new environment, it can cause stress and potentially harm. You see where I'm going with this? There are good fusions and there are bad fusions. Combining things is hard. Humans don't have the luxury of drip acclimation when it comes to moving cultures or countries. Generally, it's a sink or swim situation. Thankfully, a lot of us don't sink, but we're not exactly swimming. So to you pesky TCK fish out there, I see you've wandered through a couple of waters to get here. I've just got one question for you. Where are you from? There's this Instagram page called The People Gallery where this guy interviews celebrities about their fits. He generally asks them one or two questions and I often like to play along. He just asks one question that always stumps me. Can you guess which one it is?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, how you doing today?
I mean, we see the fit. You look amazing. Can you describe it for us today?
Thank you.
I've got this Rick and Morty LV collab socks.
Little diamond teardrops on them.
Damn!
Little diamond tear.
Pizza onesie.
Where you from?
My name is Rosalia, and I'm from Barcelona.
I'm from Philly.
Okay, Philly in the house, 215. Stop playing with them.
We from Georgia.
Okay, ATL's definitely in the house. Stop playing with them. What's your name and where you from?
Where am I from? Where am I from? If you have one parent from Nigeria and another from China, but you grew up in Australia your whole life, where are you supposed to say you're from? If you have a parent from Korea and another from India, but you never lived in those countries, instead you lived in Spain, England, Mexico, and Ethiopia before the age of 18, how in the world are you supposed to answer, where are you from? The question can feel debilitating. Let's play a game. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you can only answer yes or no. Ready? Okay. Have you stopped buying lingerie for your Barney blow-up doll? Time's up. You freeze, right? There's a nuance to the answer that a yes or no format doesn't allow for. Your answer is no, but it's no because you never started buying lingerie for your Barney blow-up doll. For me, it's no because I never stopped. Barney got cake. Barney got a big bag. So where are you from? An accurate answer for third culture kids would be a citizen of the world. But the problem with saying I'm a citizen of the world is that you sound like a toasty. I'm a third culture kid, and if someone said that to me, I would politely go tell them to themselves in solitude. So where are you from? Me? Well, both my parents are from Malawi, but I was born in LA. Months after being born, I moved to Zimbabwe for 2 years. Then I moved to South Africa for 2 years. And at the age of 4, my family moved to Switzerland, where I was raised from the age of 4 to 15. Here, my cartoons included Masupilami, Kirikou, and the goat puppetry that only 3 of you will know. Bidoum Bidoum.
Bidoum, 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 mia. Aujourd'hui c'est bidoum, bidoum c'est lundi.
Ah oui, hier c'était Bidoum. Demain c'est mardi.
I also watched The Fresh Prince and SpongeBob SquarePants in German. And do I or did I speak German?
Well, here it comes.
9. At age 15, I moved to Pennsylvania, where I did high school and a boarding school. I still went back to Switzerland for the summer and the winter breaks, but ever since the age of 15, the US is where I've properly lived. So I've never lived in Malawi, but my parents are from Malawi. I've lived in the US, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Switzerland, all before the age of 18. So where am I from? Well, clearly I'm not gonna answer that now. I can't do that for you. That's the dangling carrot of this video, but what I will do is abruptly change the subject. You know, the exposure to various cultures certainly has its pros. A big one is having context for the person you're talking to. The different cultural data points have shown me that misunderstandings don't need to escalate the conflict. A lot of the time, they just need context. Let's take the word taco, for example. To many people worldwide, we know this to be a delicious Mexican food, but in Swahili and Chichewa, it means butt. It means booty. Now imagine someone from Mexico in Nairobi asking around for the best taco in town. Imagine asking for the best butt in town. We all know that would be wherever Barney is, because Barney's got cake. Barney got that dantara. I love the Han Lon's razor mental model, which says never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by neglect. I learned about this mental model for the first time in my 20s, but I intuitively knew this from my TCK experiences. There's a beauty and an interconnectedness you're able to see the world with as a TCK. It's a unique privilege, but it comes at the cost of having unique problems. Your parents may not understand you, and can you blame them? If you have a parent that was born and raised in Canada, and another that was born and raised in Japan, how are they supposed to understand you if they raised you in Saudi Arabia? You might feel that your non-TCK friends don't understand you either, and that can feel lonely because you understand them. The phrase, "I understand where you're coming from," is quite literal here. I am eating your foods, I've danced to your music, I'm speaking your language, so I literally know where you're coming from. In some cases, you may be standing where they are from, but do you understand where I'm coming from? Where am I even from? I've seen people create empty calorie versions of themselves to fit the new culture they are in as a result of people not understanding them, leading them to lock up a truer version of themselves. Don't get lost in the sauce. I noticed when I have upgrades that need to be made to my character, it's easier for me to do the upgrade when I move countries, and I've seen people do the same thing. You get to reinvent yourself. Sometimes there are shackles from one culture that are no longer there in the culture you move to, and it can be liberating, so we reinvent ourselves in this new culture, but be vigilant. You may not notice that you are adjusting yourself to fit the shackles of this new culture. Don't get lost in the sauce. I've done it and I've seen it many times. Conformity is a puppeteering act, much like Bidum Bidu. They were warning me all along. Another con of TCK life is that you may not be legally allowed to live in the place or places you consider to be home. Geneva, Switzerland is a home to me, but I need a visa to go back. Now I've probably put sad music over this entire part to make you feel for me, and you should. Do you know what it was like to grow up in the hard streets of Geneva, Switzerland? Every day, waking up and the Alps are just there. Do you know what it's like for the tooth fairy to pay you in Swiss francs? Do you know what it's like seeing your tax money used for what the government said they would use it for? A lot of TCK life can lead to loneliness, but much like Barney's yams, loneliness is a prehistoric tale that's not unique to third culture kids. So, where are you from? Thank you. We welcome you back from the break. We have 2 more questions on this game show. So let's go. The famous Swiss paleontologist Huchi famously discovered remains from which big bone dinosaur? That would be Barney. Barney has the biggest booty. My bad. Bodacious, big. Barney has the biggest bones. That is correct. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. All right. Now we move on to our final question. And fail to answer this and you go home with a bowl of popcorn. If you get it right, you get $1 million in world peace. For $1 million in world peace, where are you from? Where are you from? That's $1 million in world peace or popcorn. There you go, everyone. You're welcome. World peace. This popcorn, this is not linked to that. This is just like, listen, regardless of what my answer was, don't anchor my national identity in the answer I definitely gave in the game show. I'm really from a fog of many countries. I list country names as a key to navigate that fog that is my national identity. If you spend time with me, then you'll really know where I'm from. And if you want to spend time with me, subscribe, and I appreciate if you liked and share it as well. I almost had it. We were so close. Globalization has led to a Cambrian explosion of cultures, and to the schools of TCK fish, I look forward to seeing your evolution as you adapt to different cultural terrain. I stand with you pesky kids as you try to make sense of this weird predicament. France, China, Egypt, the world is yours. What I'm trying to say is, much like this Kinta Brunson video, I hope you know that you can milli rock on any block.